is charging you, you can get yourself a snake and you can go clean out a drain or do the pipe or do the thing. And it's not rocket science.
There's a name for that.
What's that?
They're ASCOMs.
That wasn't going to be that harsh.
ASK.
If you want me to teach you or discuss details of NVMe drives in Gen 3 and Gen 4 and QLC versus TLC and DRAM buffers versus no DRAM buffers and the pros and cons and when you might want to use them, we could spend an hour discussing that in detail. Or you can say, I have this computer, I want an SSD, what do I buy? Go buy this, it's the deal. Okay, thanks. And leave it at that. Those are two very different scenarios.
Yes, they are. Ben, thank you for the sunglasses. Scroll up.
Oh, that is very cool. Oh.
Thanks, Ben.
Oh.
Ra has a question.
What's his question?
Thank you, Ra. Thoughts on a ROG Strix GA35 desktop with a 3090? It's going for $399 on Newegg, and I wanted to know if that was a decent deal. I just...
It is probably not.
I pulled it up. There's one that the GA35 2080 Ti is going for the same money. So if there's a 3090 with that in it for $399...
That doesn't mean... No.
ROG Strix GA35?
Computer systems, gaming desktops.
I doubt it. Oh, is that it? GA35? This one? 5900X, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, 2 terabyte hard drive, dual hotspot SSD bays for $4,000. Well, this one is actually on Asus's website. This is not on Newegg.
That's older. That's.
I know it is.
And that's
older.
got a Zen 2.
But
Here's the problem with
they
this.
want the same money.
Alright. Here's the problem. Look at this case. No. I mean, you do what you want. $4,000, you're buying an appliance.
That's a lot of money.
Can you put other parts in that? Can you upgrade it? Is it standard? I don't know. It might be fine. I've never been a that is kind of a cool handle, though.
That is cool. So what do you recommend then if that's a no?
Well,
Or do you buy it and just put it in another case?
no,
that's a lot of money,
it's
though.
fine, but it's not as... What are you going to do with it in 2 years? What are you going to do with it when you want to change out the parts? Is a different graphics card going to fit in there? Is a different motherboard going to fit in there? I mean, it looks like a standard board, and it's expensive enough. I would hope that it's just a standard motherboard. See what it says. Ryzen 9 5900X. Does it not list the motherboard on here anywhere?
Processor?
850 watt, 80 plus platinum.
X570.
That doesn't mean anything. What motherboard?
Exactly.
Is it like an Asus ROG Strix X570-E? Is it a...
Mr. Newegg.
I mean, it might be. It's not that it's probably a perfectly lovely computer. I'm sure that if 100 people bought that machine, 99 of them would probably go, oh, this is awesome, it's amazing, it's great, look how fast it runs my games, it launches Windows, it runs my programs, it's wonderful. I am sure it's lovely. And then in a couple of years, when you're ready to upgrade it, are you going to have any issues with putting other parts in it? Or are you going to end up going, oh, oops, I don't know, I don't have one. And there's not enough detail in those pictures to be able to tell. I would want to see a review of one before I spent that kind of money on one. It seems like a lot. Because RTX 3090s aren't actually that much anymore. I mean, okay, they are, but RTX.
Well, is he buying it just for the 3090, or is it actually buying it for the PC?
See what a new 3090 is going for on our favorite website these days. I mean, here's the thing. This RTX, oh, that's a 3080 Ti.
2400.
Oh, he put not 30i in. Okay, you are a crappy seller for doing that. In order to catch the search?
Yeah, exactly. You put that in there.
You bad person. There's a 3090 XT3. I'd rather have before the win, though. So $1,500 for the rest of the parts. It's not bad. It's reasonably priced. It's just a question of. See, here's for the wins. Oh, look at the pickup.
$50 shipping?
Yeah. There's a for the win 3 from the UK of all places.
Okay, that'd be more than $12 shipping.
Yeah, unless he's just doing $12 and eating it. You never know.
Maybe.
Although I'm not signed in, so it doesn't have my
No, that's true.
address. I would like it more if it were in a case I was familiar with. Just my opinion. Is that the most exciting endorsement you've ever heard? What's the next one, my love?
The next one is All Muscle. Thank you. I've watched you for a few years now, and I'm always impressed. Thanks for the great content and making the effort to publish high quality info. Well, thanks, All Muscle. We appreciate that. And Mike, thank you.
Wow. Mike, thank you.
Do all current mainstream motherboards use TPM, or is TPM just a CPU thing? Can a CPU, Intel or AMD not support TPM, but the motherboard does, or vice versa? Yes, people are very confused about that.
TPM is in the BIOS, not the CPU.
Which is the motherboard.
This is the motherboard. It is either a physical key plugged into the motherboard, or it's FTPM with the lowercase f, meaning firmware TPM. Firmware TPM has been a thing for 10 plus years, but TPM 2.0 was just in 2016. And even then, just barely. Which is why the first generation Skylakes and even the Kaby Lakes and first gen Ryzen may not support TPM 2.0. However,
let's get this show on the road.
I'm hearing a lot of chatter that Microsoft may end up relaxing that requirement for Windows 11 releases. Maybe they will back it off to TPM 1.2, which will allow i7 4790Ks and 4770Ks, Ryzen 7 1700s. That will let a lot more of the current machines upgrade to Windows 11. Now, maybe they'll tweak it or push it up at some point in the future, but at least it'll buy people a couple of years until they're ready to upgrade. Because this is really not a good time to try to force everybody to upgrade with the current shortages of technology and stuff. But TPM is a security feature. But here's something. Did that answer your question?
Mike's question, yeah.
Does that answer Mike's question?
Yep. Does that answer your question, Mike?
Almost everything that you would put Windows 11 on supports it.
There you go.
Assuming they backdate it to 1.2.
Simpson703, well, thank you for becoming a member off stream. Appreciate that. Welcome to Donation. Make sure you link up Tech Deals Discord, link in the video description below, and come over and say good day. And then Mr. Birkinshaw. I want to call you Brinkshaw for some reason, but Birkinshaw.
It's
Paul,
Scotty B.
It's Scotty B.
It's Scotty B Burgers.
Well, Scotty from Star Trek.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Paul from not an Apple fan had some things to say about your take on the 3070 at 1440p. He said you called it obsolete. Can you clarify? Oh.
He doesn't watch enough of our content to understand the reference.
Exactly.
He heard a title. He saw a thumbnail.
He probably didn't watch the video.
In fairness,
The whole video.
I don't watch his videos.
Yeah.
Not a knock. But
Well,
there's a capacity limit.
You've also got part 1 and part 2, and there's actually several 3070 videos, so
He wouldn't understand the reference unless he's a regular viewer. And I didn't call it obsolete. I said, well, the thumbnail is like 3070 obsolete question mark. It's
question mark.
It's meant to get you to click on the thumbnail. That's how YouTube works. If you actually watch that bite-sized tech, there's a lot of nuance in there.
There is.
Because I was talking about how Cyberpunk at 1440p ultra wide was not great on a 3070, which is a true statement.
Oh yes, Cat Slave, that was the other thing. In regards to TPM, you also have to look for PPT. So it'll either be TPM or PPT in your BIOS. That was the other one.
It's very
It
frustrating.
is. Intel has PTT. Jackie Chan, thank you. Appreciate that. We've missed you. Welcome back. I think we got. Alrighty.
Oh, interesting. Not an Apple fan follows me on Twitter. Okay. There you go, dude. You're immortalized on YouTube. I just followed you. Dublin, Ireland.
Ah, he's Irish.
Not a fan of apples and overpriced consumer electronics.
Like the Irish. Ben has a question for you when you're ready. What is TMP or PPT? JZBs? Bears? Views? You need to go watch more of our videos. Oops, what did I miss? James, like, what did I miss? 47 minutes worth? Oh,
He made a video? And he didn't link to mine? Oh, dude, man, seriously. If you're going to talk about mine, you should definitely link to that. Did you actually show it? No, if you're talking about it, I don't mind if you show it. That's fair use. Oh, he didn't show it.
He's a fan of tech deals, just disagreed on a point.
Oh. Well, for the record, not an Apple fan, if you're watching, if you're going to make a 22-minute video, and if I'm referenced in here, you're not going to get in trouble for at least pulling up the YouTube page.
He does an AMA every Sunday at 11 Central. Oh, you're at work and you just got home?
Tech Deals has been off the rails since the launch of Zen 3. I saw the video. His premise was stupid.
He would be...
What part of my premise was wrong? An RTX 3070 does not play Cyberpunk 2077 on 1440p ultra wide. Everybody always misses the bloody frickin' ultra wide. Worth a damn. Medium detail with DLSS on, ray tracing to medium, 45 frames per second. That's not very good.
Lampy had something to say about that.
Yeah, Lampy does. Tech Deals likes people to buy the new thing whether you need it or not. Oh, and more cores regardless of your situation. Affiliate links in the description. I can laugh at that. That doesn't hurt my feelings. Oh.
Exactly, Sir Brucey. They just don't understand. They don't watch enough videos.
Try rotating the turret slowly. It should be working now.
You know what? What if we just did a live stream
Oh.
of me replying?
Yeah, to... Oh, that would be hilarious. Haters gonna... Yeah, exactly. Chat says hi.
You keep talking. I'm typing replies.
I'm talking. Hang on. Francisco went on a mission. The Asus system motherboard is a ROG Strix F570F. Oh my gosh, Francisco. My goodness. I'm gonna give you 2 gold stars. And then I'll put that desktop back up. There we go. There we go. I mean, affiliate links are in the description, so he is helping you out.
Yes. We have to stay on the screen. Otherwise, it looks funny. You hit the desktop.
Oh, I did.
It's
I
all
did
right.
that. You can do that?
I really like Tech Deals. He was giving good advice in the beginning of his channel, but he lost it somewhere down the line. At some point, he only wanted to sell stuff because of that sweet affiliate money. I knew he should not be trusted anymore when he tried to make the 2080 Ti a good deal at $1,200. Had you bought one in 2018, at this point, it's not that bad.
You'd be very happy camper.
I know. He totally lost his stuff when he was telling people to take on credits to buy a 3090 to mine on them.
All right, what are we going to say about this one? Well, you see, a replay live stream to your detractors would be awesome. We would sit and watch you verbally destroy them. The industrial PPC fans were not sure worth it. Just the regular ones for the Noctua fans? Oh, did you say that too, Michael? Sorry, Michael. There is a lot going on. There we go. Simpson got his 2080 Ti. Get. How do you like them apples? Yeah, Rowan says that not an Apple fan has been roasting you. You need a response. Oh, the Chad. Where were you, man? Ooh, do you hear all that typing? Ghost event, that's hilarious. One day I'll be able to say I was there when Tech Deals replied to every bang comment posted on an Apple Cam video. I like apples.
Oh.
Flame wars. Clicky wars.
Still not as eye-rolling as Moore's Law is dead.
He's writing a book. I can rant in more than one direction. Tech is doing I can't go to bed because someone on the internet is wrong. All I can hear is typing. I can feel the heat from all the click-clacking. Well, drama is good for tech tubers right now. He was as big as you on YouTube. How many subs does he have?
Who?
Not an Apple fan.
32,000.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, hang on. 32,001. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever watched one of his videos.
This could be a whole new live stream content. Roast of bad viewers. We can crowdfund roasted comments.
Oh.
Tech should drop in on the next NAAF live stream. I think Sunday at 11. I guess we're doing this now. That poor keyboard. This is grounds for a new channel. Oh no, not a new channel. No. Well, it was always stupid until now. Are you using tact? Are you being tactful?
He could be a bit of a kangaroo sometimes.
A bit of a wombat. He can be a bit of a wombat. All right, let's get back to the show. Not yet. Looks like he's still got a little bit to get off his chest, off his fingertips. This reminds me of South Park episode. Are you done yet, dear?
I actually ultimately blocked Hardware Unboxed on Twitter
I know.
because he didn't
No, he didn't
have
stop.
a conversation.
No, he was just...
He tried to. He spoke down to me.
Yes.
And
No,
with all due respect, I have more experience in computers than he does. I've been doing it longer and I'm older than he is. I don't like being spoken down to. I respect his opinion, I respect his benchmarks, but it's when it got, it's when it was like a...
Well, when you can't agree to disagree, that's a problem.
Yeah.
There, at some point...
His replies got nasty.
Yeah. At some point, you just have to agree to disagree. That's why there's a word called tact.
This is a perfect example right here. Log 300 hours, everything on it, DLSS quality. It's a great card. Ultra wide is a thing. Oh my God, people don't freaking listen. Open your damn ears.
You missed the ultra wide. Uh-oh, this is going to be a good one. Just have to listen to the clicks.
I need a quieter keyboard if I'm going to keep doing this.
Nope, you can't have mine. People are bored now.
Oh, do you guys not like me doing this?
They do, but they want the deals.
You want the deals. Because you know I'll do this for an hour. You know when I sit there sometimes doing this, why don't I just live stream doing this?
You should.
Oh my goodness, I have so much to say. Because it's nuance, and I
It
get
is.
the nuance.
It is.
I even typed a comment up there before where the Ryzen 5 1600 and RX 580 is a great computer, and so is an i9 plus with 3090. I totally get. I can argue both positions.
Yeah, you can.
I get it. There's a place for both. It's fine.
It is. It is called use case.
I said
Oh
on.
no, the loud keyboard makes this work. Thanks for the shout out. I think I need a Tim Tam. Here we go. I got strawberry Tim Tams. Oh, live stream this on the Reacts channel. Oh, that could be interesting. It's about balance. O-rings help. How much more demanding is an ultra wide?
About 50%.
Oi,
It's about 50% harder to run an ultra wide.
Bongo, you were way off, mate.
It is a massive difference.
Yeah.
And I was clear on that in the video. The title was clickbait, but in the video I was very, very
Yeah.
clear on that.
Jake's got it right, 50%.
Um,
Yeah, these are browns. Yeah.
so, okay. Here's Twitter. Microsoft, you suck.
Twitter.
I'm not getting into that. We do wish Erica Muse, and to some people who think that maybe there's some bad blood or we were unhappy or whatever, no. I mean, I retweeted her thing and what she's doing, and we wish her the best. Same with XD. No hard feelings to either one of them. It just, the world changed, things happened. It just, life moves on. But this is what I want to share. Honey, why don't you read that to everybody?
Jimmy upgraded from 8 gigs of RAM and a 1400 to a 5800X with 32 gigs of RAM. The wow moment is just hard to explain. Honestly, I use 20 gigs of RAM now and 26 sometimes. Everything is amazing. The web pages load much faster. The text appears faster when I type. It's just amazing. Worth the money. That's nuance right there.
The wow moment is not something, you did that very well. The wow moment is not something you can show on a chart or benchmark. It's something you have to experience. It's not a frame rate counter, it's not a number, it's not a bar graph. But it's every bit as real as a bar graph. It's the experience of running updates and launching games and doing stuff. It's the experience of using your computer. And if you're gonna upgrade. And somebody made a comment. I'll address these here. It's fine. Who's to say he wouldn't have felt the same thing with the 9900K and 16 gigabytes? He probably would have. It's not about his 5800X. It's about the leap of the 1400. Just because that 1400 is a 4-core, 8-thread Zen 1.
Yeah, Zen 1.
And he went to a Zen 3.
Exactly.
But he also went from 8 gigs of RAM to 32.
2.
Had he gone to 16, it still would have been a good upgrade, but it wouldn't
not
have been.
wow. It would
No.
have been It's a feeling. I got a feeling.
I definitely get a wow moment when I look at my bank account after buying a new GPU.
Wow.
It's funny. It's
I
funny.
only get 1 gold star. Jeez, what does it take to get 2?
Okay, why don't you read this one?
Okay. Been using my new, Snacky, this is Snacky. Been using my new 10850K all day today, and I can feel the difference even in Overwatch over my 8700K, even just slightly multitasking. People buying a 5600X and 16 gigs of RAM today really have to be a citizen in Crazy Town.
The i7 8700K has the exact same cores as an i9 10850K. They're all Skylake cores. At the same clock speed, an 8700K at 5 GHz and a 10850K at 5 GHz has the same per core performance. There's just more cores. That's 6 cores to 10 cores. Overwatch is not a highly demanding game. Overwatch does not require a 10-core chip.
Nope. But
What did I say up here?
I've been saying it for years now. I'm really not crazy. The Ryzen 7 1700 really was the most important CPU launch of the past 14 years. It brought forward the idea that 8 cores would be the new normal. 6 cores is the new i3. It works, but it's not ideal.
I upgraded from an 8700K to a 9900K at home. And over the past year, a ton of people have said to me, "What? You don't need 8 cores for gaming at home. What? That's not worth it." Oh, yes, it is. Honey, how much less did I complain when I went to my 9900K?
Yep, Mr. Matt does everything. He's been neglecting RAM. He still runs 16 gigs on his 10700K with 3080. I feel stutters, and so I have another 16 gigs coming in tomorrow.
Yay!
Finally!
I am
Actually,
not making it up.
We need finally 32 gigs of RAM.
Just print them at 64 now.
There you go, 64, exactly. Well, you're going to have that, because we're an hour in. And I'm going to have my Scotch Finger Arnott's cookies. You don't want that?
After eating the ice cream earlier,
Oh.
I really don't need any more sugar.
Oh, thanks, Ghost.
Actually, speaking of which, somebody made a comment on our Discord I want to share with everybody. And I really do love you, Discord people. This was awesome because first of all, I love this feedback. This feeds me. This makes me so happy when I read it because it tells me that people actually hear me and actually, that what I do is useful. I copied this from the WoW moment. This is the same thing we just showed on Twitter, but I post a lot of this stuff over on Discord as well. And Old Man Rob said, "GG, my last 2 upgrades have been from your advice and videos. 6 cores to 8 cores and 16 gigs of RAM to 32 gigs. I probably wouldn't have done either without your explanation of why they were worthy upgrades. And damn, you were right. What I had truly was fine. What I have now is great. For gaming, I don't think the core upgrade would matter that much. For FPS gains, it doesn't. But wow, how much quicker everything loads and responds is amazing. And like you said, going from 16 to 32 gig really gives the machine room to breathe. Your sage advice is second to none." And yet, all those haters posting those comments over on Not an Apple Fan, not criticizing Not an Apple Fan, he can't control his viewers, but those comments saying, "I can't watch Tech Deals, he's crazy and off the rails."
That's because I don't watch a video.
That's because they don't listen, and they miss the points. And they, I don't know, don't want to hear it, don't want to learn something. It's also possible some of those people can't afford to upgrade, which I respect. And they get tired of they feel like, well, if I can't upgrade, of course, nobody wants to admit that they're stuck with their older machine.
No.
And so they get tired of being told 32 gigs, upgrade, 8 cores, this is the future, go. And they're like, well, since I don't have that, Tech must be wrong. He's crazy. Because that's not what I have, and what I have must be good. Do people not rationalize like that?
They do.
They
Yeah,
do.
They do.
They rationalize. But see, Here's what's insane about the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Despite this hardware, despite what we just showed you, if any of you have a Ryzen 5 1600 and an RX 580 or a GTX 1060 and you're playing Overwatch at 1080p, it's fine. With 16 gigs of RAM even, it's fine. It would be better. It will load faster and update faster and launch faster. It is obviously going to be better on better hardware. Duh. But you can have lots of fun, and if you cannot afford to upgrade, so be it. Not everybody can afford to upgrade when they want to. And I think some people get the wrong idea, because when I talk about there being a difference, and when you go, when you talk about your 32 gigs of RAM and your new i9 that you have at home, people think, oh, these people just think us Ryzen 5 owners are just crap. And that's not true. What we're trying to say, maybe we don't always do it, or at least I don't always do it as well as I should. What we're trying to say is, if you have the money to upgrade, there is a noticeable difference besides just benchmarks. And benchmarks is actually part of the reason I had the argument with Hardware Unboxed in the first place, because he's like, but the frame rate counter doesn't move. Yeah, so I'm not arguing the point. The average frame rate's not going to move. Going from 6 cores to 8 to 10 is not going to improve your average frame rate. So gamers don't need more. Well, there's need, and then there's want, and then there's can use, and we'll see a difference. Because there's some nuance in there. Because if we use the word need,
You don't need a computer.
You don't need to play computer games.
Go outside, go to work, spend time with your family.
Well,
Sit and watch paint dry.
Ooh,
Sit and cut grass with your scissors.
I'm watching paint dry. So everything is a want. The point that I'm trying to make is that if you otherwise have the money, more is nicer.
Oh, here we go. Warren upgraded from 16 gigs to 32 gigs for $85 due to a pricing error on Newegg. I haven't noticed anything running faster, but I no longer need to close anything when I want to do web development. He says, hang on, I can run games without closing my work as well now.
That's part of it. It makes
Bosses are not going to like you. People are gaming while they're working. It used to be you had to close everything so you could work.
This is why I actually upgraded from 32 to 64 at home. There's no one task I do at home that needs 64. That's ridiculous. But I can have 10 things open and not care, or 20 things open. And I'm not an average user at home. I acknowledge that. 64 is overkill for most people. I get that. But
Try simulator. That was funny.
You have to stare at your screen and you can't blink.
Oh my gosh. We got a couple of super chats. Do you want to do these or do you want to
Go ahead.
Okay. Ben, thank you for your patience. Ben says, would you put a 5900X on an MSI B550 Gaming Edge Wi-Fi?
Say that one more time. To be honest, I was actually not listening to you.
I think you have to read it. It's right there.
Ah, yeah.
That's pretty tiny.
These big heat sinks hide what is probably... that's not too bad.
A 5900X? 12 cores?
Without having investigated the motherboard further, here's my first hot take. I wouldn't buy the MSI Gaming Edge Wi-Fi for a 5900X in one go. I would buy more motherboard. I would step up to the Tomahawk at a minimum. I would step up to the Gaming Pro Carbon or... I would step up to the Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi. You could just tell it's a better board. It's got more on it. I would step up to that. However, if he already has the B550
If he already
Gaming
has it.
Edge, yes. Just be aware it's a little unbalanced. You have a little bit of a low-end board relative to the cost of your chip. it's not a crime.
There you go.
You can do it. It just wouldn't be my first choice.
Johnny Boy, thank you. Good afternoon. I was just listening to you during my workout, music and all. I'm now all in on this YouTube Bloodsport Pitter Patter. An easy name to remember. Thank you. Upgrading a 9900K to a 5950X like you soon. Ooh. I have a 3090 hybrid 240mm. Main question is what motherboard recommendations? Is 1000 watt enough? And what full tower?
1,000 watts should be plenty. I put a 1200 watt 80 plus platinum in mind, and I will have a 1200 watt 80 plus platinum in my 5950X as well, for two reasons. Number one, if you're going to 1,000 to 1,200 is not gonna whatever. It's what, another $50. Second, I never want to have to care. I want to know that any single CPU and any single GPU for the next 10 years is not an issue. That thing is going to last me through several builds. I'm going to keep that. It's going to be great. It's going to last forever. The other reason I went to a 1,200 watt power supply, not that you need it, 1,000 will be enough. Power supplies are happiest when you run them in the middle of their power curve. They're most efficient. When you get to the top 80% and bottom 80% of a power supply's draw, there's actually an efficiency curve. The 80 plus gold, platinum, titanium efficiency levels don't apply to max draw and minimum draw. They only apply to about the middle 80-ish percent or so. 60%. The top 20 and the bottom 20 are outside of those certification curves. And so a power supply that has its capacitors and components going at full bore for years on end is less likely, in my opinion, to last a very, very long time. But if I have a 1,200 watt power supply that is pulling 600, 700 watts even under max load, it's loafing along at 50% use, it should outlast. It should never be the problem my computer has. How do I put this? Hopefully we leave the ATX standard before a 1,200 watt power supply becomes non-functional. That thing should last 20 years. 1,200 watt 80 plus platinums are about $250 right now.
Yeah.
1,000 watt are 200. For $50, I would rather have just that bit. Let me put it this way. I don't normally recommend that, but he's going $800 processor, $2,500 video card. He's gonna have a $5,000+ computer on his desk.
Yep.
A $250 power supply, not unreasonable.
No, not really. I mean, you're going to have it a long time and it's going to do a lot of stuff.
And you don't want to care about how much RAM, how many SSDs. You just, that's the reasoning I say. If you don't already own the 1,000, just buy the 1,200 and be done with it.
What about the cooling? 240 mil?
Yeah, that's fine. That's on the graphics card.
And then he wants to know about a case, full tower.
A big case.
Are you talking 750G big, or are you talking?
Those are a little out of date now. I love that case, but
I know you do.
That's a little out of date now. You know, there's two cases worth considering. One is the Corsair 5000D Airflow case, and I do believe in the airflow. It's not as pretty as the RGB case, but it does have airflow on the front and airflow on the back. Those RGB, that's actually would be like a 360 millimeter liquid cooler put on the CPU. You could put the 240 millimeter of the graphics card on the top or in the front and add one more fan if you want, and then put a liquid cooler in the top of the case if you want. I'm actually going to do a build with one of these soon. I don't think that will be my machine, but you never know.
Okay.
The other one is the H500P mesh. I have a Threadripper in this. Airflow is great, building is great, plenty of room. It's a very, very nice case. It'll take an EATX motherboard. It's an option. So I would actually consider the Corsair 5000D or something like the H500P mesh. You can go bigger. I wouldn't go smaller.
All right, Stefan.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I had my wow moment when I upgraded my 6700K system to a brand new one with the 3700X and the RTX 3070. Even web browsing feels significantly faster now. There you go. Excellent. Johnny Boy.
Well, you know what that's like, because
I do.
you've had a 3700X and you've got a 4-core 8-thread Intel in there.
Yep.
And while that's a tiny bit, you have the one before that, it's kind of the same thing. It really is.
I do. I mean, I'll click on something and I'll be like, damn, why is this taking so long? And I'm like,
I'm on that machine.
I might work on the 47. It's a good reminder because, you know, I'm sitting here using...
So I should leave you on it as a good reminder.
It's a good reminder because I'm sitting here using some of the stuff that you guys are, and you're probably thinking, why when we've got so much stuff around the office? I think you should use it.
I don't.
I'm
going
to switch it out.
I don't want to.
Because he can't. Johnny Boy, thank you, Johnny Boy. He says, during my first PC build part sourcing, I was going to go with the 9700K. 16 gigs of RAM because my buddy told me that was all I would need.
There's that buddy again.
I'm telling
My
you.
friend said, well, your friend doesn't own them all, does he?
And he's just not spending your money. I ended up going with the 9900K with 64 gigs. Buy it nice or buy it twice. Thanks to you all. Oh, well, there we go. Johnny Boy, 2 gold stars for listening. You are welcome. Thanks for all your responses. It's helpful.
It's because of that, he doesn't have to upgrade. Otherwise, he'd have 8 threads and he'd be in pain right now.
Oh yeah, you would not be fun. And there's plenty of people out there with 9700.
And he can even wait. I mean, while I'm replacing my 9900K, I am not going back to normal. I completely understand that. He can most likely wait through Alder Lake and even the first round of Zen 4 AM5 boards and let the DDR5 stabilize, and then he can up. He bought himself time.
He bought himself. Yeah, exactly. Danny, thank you. Hardware Unbox says that meanwhile the consoles have 8 Zen 2 CPU cores and ray tracing capable GPUs, but what does Sony and Microsoft know about gaming, right?
Well, first of all, they have 8-core 16-thread chips.
Correct.
And second of all, those are dedicated consoles with hardware that is different than PCs, and PCs have always needed better hardware than consoles to play games at the same quality level. This has been true since the original Nintendo Entertainment System, which I owned when it launched in 1985, because I've been experiencing this for a very long time. Consoles have always run games better with lesser hardware because they're purpose-built devices. The Xbox Series and the PlayStation 5, for example, have unified memory. They don't have to have a separate DDR4 system bus main memory from the GDDR memory. They have, for example, the PlayStation 5 has 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 that is shared between both the CPU and the GPU. They have a faster system bus. They have no legacy hardware to deal with. They have a much faster storage bus that essentially has direct storage built in with much, much faster transfer
Well,
rates.
it's a very specific system, and it's designed for that system.
And they can do things with that hardware that your equivalent PC cannot. And so, and your PC has to run Windows and background tasks and other things. Most of the comments we've seen, for example, is that when they upgraded from a 6 to an 8, or even the one I showed earlier to a 10-core chip, he went from an 8700K to a 10850K. It's not FPS. It's not a frame rate number. The whole machine became smoother. Everything loaded faster. The hitches.
Exactly.
It's the fact that your PC does more than play games. Now, it is also true that if somebody built a completely clean test machine with nothing on it, if you built a machine, stripped to the bones, turned off all the services, shut everything down, ran absolutely nothing in the background, you had no OneDrive, no G Drive, no Backblaze, no online access, no Discord app running, you closed everything. And you had the cleanest machine ever. And you just launch your game and suspend all your services and you simply play your game full screen on one monitor and do nothing else. Yeah, 6 cores is enough for the moment. But not for very long. If you already own a 6-core chip that you bought a year or two ago, keep it. You don't have to upgrade today in that scenario. But why would you go spend three? See, this all happened with the whole Zen 3 and the stupid $300 price point of the
I
Ryzen
know.
5 5600X, which is ridiculous.
I know.
If that chip were $200, I would love it, and I would think it's awesome. It's $300. It's dumb. 2017 called and wants its 8700K back. Because if you were going to spend $300 on a 6-core 12-thread chip, you'd have done it back then. Yes, I know nobody had the money. People weren't on the market. Yes, you don't have to explain that to me. I get it. It's a saying. If you spend $300 today on 6 cores, planning to get 3 years use out of it, you are going to be horrifically disappointed. It's like the same people in 2017 who bought i7 7700K 4-core 8-thread chips thinking that they were going to get 5 years out of it.
Or the 6700K.
Or the 67, well, that was 2016. Yeah, well, before that, but 2015. But, you know, they got a couple years use out of it, but they aged poorly.
Yes.
I would like to point out that 5 nanometer chips are coming. More than 16 cores in the consumer desktop are coming. When 16 cores and 32 cores are available on the consumer desktop, and 8 cores becomes the new minimum, and 12 becomes... See, in my mind, by the time we get through AM5 and the next 5 nanometer generation that's coming next year, you're going to have 8, 12, and 16 cores as the typical option for the average person.
Correct.
4 and 6 are just going to kind of go away. Notice, for example, that we don't have a 4-core version of Zen 3.
Nope.
And the 4-core version of Zen 2 came late and was hardly even ever available.
Yeah.
The 3100 and the 3300X. So Zen 2 launched with 6 cores, 6, 8, 12, and 16. Zen 3 launched with 6, 8, 12, and 16. I'll bet you all 1,000 gold stars. Zen 4 launches with 8, 12, 16, and 24. I don't think they'll launch a 32 on day one because I don't think they'll be ready for it. I think
And
supplies
they'll
will be a
drop the
problem.
6.
They'll drop the 6. And
They'll
8
even-
cores will be your new entry-level processor.
Will they drop the 6 out of the APUs too? Or they keep the 6 in the APUs?
Yeah, they're about to launch 8-core APUs.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. They may still make 4 and 6-core low-end chips for business machines. If they can get some design wins from Dell and Acer to put in basic chips for basic budget boxes, if Dell wants to buy 250,000 low-end chips, AMD will make them. AMD wouldn't turn that order down. Since the Ryzen 3 3100 and 3300X launched, have you seen anybody talk about them? Have you seen one in stock? Nobody's cared. The world moved on. Begun. The Core Wars have.
Yes. Homes for sale, thank you. Team Tech, don't let the plainly get you down. You're usually proved right on most things, politics aside. There we go, thank you.
Vote for Tech for President 2028. We are Team Purple.
Exactly. Mikey, thank you. I got a 6700 XT that you knocked it as not a great pick for the money to replace my Vega 64. It's amazing. Have 1440p, 144 Hz, staying in the box until the price is settled. Staying in the box?
Well, it depends on what you paid for it. Because the current going rate for those cards is pretty brutal. If you paid $500 for it, I don't mind at all. But lately, Micro Center has been selling them for $1,000. And $1,000 for that is dumb. There are no bad products.
Just bad prices.
So if you got it for the right price, I don't have any problem with that card. It's just...
But they haven't been.
I mean, here, let me just pull this up really quick. RX 6700 XT. Oh my. And it's even sold out. Okay. This says everything. This is why I said that. And this is that nuance.
Yep.
I'm not saying that Marquis didn't get this. Maybe Marquis did. But so many of the comments on the other channels on Twitter
Yep.
where people go, oh, that Tech Deals guy is nuts. They're not really listening.
Peanut butter with nuts, anybody?
This is what's so stupid about the 6700 XT.
$940 for an MSI AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT Mech 2X overclock dual fan 12 gigs of GDDR6 PCI 4 graphics card. Nearly $1,000.
That price is the problem. If it were $499, I'd be like, holy crap, what a deal. Everybody go buy one right now.
Just
This is the price stupid. I would like to point out that the launch MSRP of the RX 6800 XT was $650. $650.
Let's get this show on the road.
Anyway,
Marky also, thank you, staying on 4K 43-inch 75 hertz till then was your suggestion, and I heard you. The Vega had to go. Was what seems to do that too often. Put system in your benchmark section.
I'm sorry. Not an Apple fan.
Oh,
Liked my reply to him,
oh,
and I saw that it came up on my feed, and I was like, oh, he hit like. Cool. He didn't reply, but he hit
I guess
like.
he's too busy reading your comments, or he's sitting in chat. Hi, Nat.
Well, if he is, then welcome and hello, and if he's not, that's okay too. I don't mind when other content creators disagree with me.
Well,
You
need
just
to
be
have-
respectful about
and
it.
You just need to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
It's
And I think a lot of times the disagreement comes about from misunderstanding. Like the ultra wide versus 14 versus standard. A 3070 is fine for 1440p today's standard, but I think it's a very poor choice for ultra wide. You need a 3080 for ultra wide. And the reason is because an ultra wide is 50% more difficult to run. And people just throw out 1440p and they miss the
well,
ultra
you
wide.
got standard and ultra wide now.
And it makes a big, big difference. So, if two people are arguing, the question is, are they even arguing about the same thing?
Coming out.
Or are they talking past each other because one person is like they're thinking about this and the other person's thinking about this and they're both right. And they don't even know it.
Yep.
They're too busy yelling.
Exactly. Okay. I don't. There's nothing to say with my key second one.
Put system in your benchmarks section. I heard you, the Vega had to go, was crashed to desktop too often. The Vegas were trash.
They're terrible.
I've had a half a dozen Vegas from different brands and different companies. I had a Sapphire Vega 64 Nitro. I had the liquid cool Vega 64. They were all awful. The drivers were bad. They were unstable. I've used them in multiple systems, AMD and Intel. To those of you running Vegas that are great, rock on. Good for you. I don't know what to tell you. I've had MSI, I've had Sapphire, I've had Gigabyte, and I've had the Founders Edition card. They're all awful.
Yeah. And they're noisy.
Yeah.
That was over here we were testing. Remember when Ted was over here? And I just remember.
Oh, that's right.
And
That's
I'm
right.
like, that was terrible. Okay, let's see. Ben, thank you. He's got a 3700X, an RX 6700 XT, 32 gigs of DDR4, 3600, 2 data, 2 terabyte, XP Pro, 750 watt gold. Is this good for 1080p up to 144 hertz, high to ultra detail with AAA gaming?
Yes. Yeah, the 6700 XT is not the strongest card they make, obviously, but for 1080p gaming, yeah, it's lovely. That's a great card for that.
And then, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thinking about building an Asplex virtual machine for fun. Would you do AliExpress Xenon with motherboard or just get a new CPU? Actually, we had a big chat about virtual machines the other day. New CPU, 10850K, 64 gigs of RAM. Yeah, just for fun, that's going to be an expensive bit of fun, but...
Well, in fairness, There, you can get some motherboards and some old Xenon chips off of AliExpress for way less than good new stuff costs. The problem is it's priced there for a reason. Stuff is usually priced where it is for a reason, despite people's complaints and wishing it wasn't. A great example are those x56 75 chips.
Yeah.
6 cores, 12 threads, 3 gigahertz. You can buy them for $30. What a deal.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad.
We did a bite-sized tech on that.
On the other hand, you know what? If you were gonna take, let me be a contrarian to my own point for a minute. If Steve for fun,
Funsies?
if Steve wants to build a NAS or a Plex media server box, he just wants to mess around for fun, he could get a 6 or an 8 core chip for under $50. You can get motherboards for $50 to $80 from AliExpress. Some of those leave, a DDR3, and DDR3 is pretty cheap. You can get some larger server banks of DDR3 for pretty cheap. It's how I got the 144 on that. It wasn't that expensive.
Right.
If he gets an old full tower case, some of those are actually pretty cheap because they have no RGB, no glass, no anything. They're just metal shells.
Yep.
If he just wants to install Linux, which in fairness would be a better choice for an old Xenon chip than Windows. Windows is very sluggish on those these days. With all the Spectre and Meltdown and security patches, Windows is much slower than it used to be. Benchmarks from 3, 4, 5 years ago on those aren't valid today anymore because so much has changed in Windows and security, microcode updates and everything else. But if you just want something to tinker, think about the guy who's turning his wrenches on Saturday on his motorcycle or his 1970 Charger in his garage.
Yeah.
It's not about value for the money. It's not even about profit. It's not about performance. It's not about anything other than he just wants to tinker. If he wants to put it together, the truth of the matter is, for a couple $100, he could put together a pretty cool machine, and he could also say, how do you guys like my $10,000 server? Original price 10 years ago. Because it was at one point very, very expensive.
Exactly.
And Steve, if that amuses you,
Sell him Dave.
getting it to him is the problem.
Yeah.
Shipping that is going to be awful.
Oh.
So here's the thing. Yeah, Dave would be cool for that. He may not want all that storage though. That's a fair point, Steve. Look for Dell T7500s on eBay before you go and buy anything off AliExpress. T7500 Dell Precision. I mean, just for the sake of discussion, this is... Wow, okay. Actually, I don't even think this is the best deal out there, but I mean, just as an example.
He truly wants to tinker and learn. Maybe teach my neighbor's kid more about computers.
This is $600, give or take.
Oh, Dave.
It is Dave.
That's not our Dave.
No, but this has two X5690s, 3.46 gigahertz. This is a 12-core, 24-thread machine. 96 gigs of RAM, 5 terabytes of storage, Windows 10 Pro installed. That is... Does it not have a video card?
Doesn't look like it.
A 1 gigabyte DVI DisplayPort video card. That's fine.
Keyboard, mouse.
It's got ECC RAM, it's got 2 hard drives.
Windows 7? I don't see it.
Windows 7 COA attached. Yeah, 1 gigabyte DVI DisplayPort video card.
Oh, 1 gig. Yeah.
But there's a bunch of these. Let's see what this is. 430. So this is what we. This is almost what we have. X5680. We have two X5675s. 96 gigs of RAM. 430. $56 shipping.
guess he doesn't have the big thing too.
One of our tracks is damaged. Penetration.
Memory, CPU, browser, keyboard, mouse, power cord, motor.
The point is, if you want something fun to tinker with, that's always an option. If you go to AliExpress,
Well, you have to wait forever for stuff to come from AliExpress.
you'd think so. Shipping from China doesn't take that. Well, in the current pandemic, it does. Before the current human malware situation, actually, the shipping is not that bad.
We've lost half of our engine power. Penetration.
That's interesting.
We didn't even scratch them. Bail out.
It's a 14-core processor.
$170 US.
8 cents shipping. They have 187 available.
Estimated to arrive July 30. So if you're okay to wait, but he needs case, and he needs a motherboard, and he needs.
That's Broadwell 5th gen. 14 cores of Broadwell for 170. That's 10% of the original price. Could be fun to tinker with, actually. And that would kick the snot out of the 1st gen Xeons. I mean, that's much, much faster. Yeah,
There you go.
there's options.
There is options.
You know the super chats?
So we're 137 in.
We're an hour and 37 into this funsies,
Yes.
but you know what we haven't done yet? We have not thanked somebody important.
Well, we need to then, don't we?
We do.
All right, go.
Our awesome viewers. we do thank you for being here. We appreciate it. You ready?
Yes. Big thank you to Newegg for sponsoring this Newegg Now video. So we're
Live
live.
stream?
Well, it is live, but some people are watching this later. So we've got links in the video description below that you can click on to view some deals. So what deals do we have?
Well, we have some deals, but the first thing I want to talk about is this. Newegg has a new thing called You Dream, We Build Professional PC Assembly for $99.
$100 and they'll build it. So you pick the parts and they'll build it.
Yeah, I had some items stuck over here, so hang on, let me take these out. I had been playing with this before. We're going to play with this together.
Ooh.
Did I get everything out? I did. So they charge $99. They charge $100 to put the machine together for you. And here's where this gets interesting. If you look at the title of the live stream, then some of you guys put us over here. Some of you guys and gals are going to say, because if you look at the title of the live stream, it says best way to get a GPU at MSRP. Keeping in mind that we're talking about revised MSRPs here, not the launch MSRPs. Everybody looking for an RTX 3070 for $499, you need a time machine because that's never coming back.
Correct.
But what you can do is, do you see this box over here that says need assembly service?
I do.
Not every component is eligible, and if you don't want them to build it, if you want them to send you all the parts in a box,
And you build
and
it.
you build it,
Unclick that.
then you want to uncheck that box.
But if you want to pick your parts and have them build it
For $100, and here's why. We're going to hit video cards, and these are all the video cards that are actually available.
Now they're only available specifically for them building it for you. They're not available any other way.
Just as an example, RTX 3090. Well, that's out of stock. Okay, see. Ah, wow, they have sold out of some stuff. There was more stuff here earlier today.
There was.
Here is a RTX 3070 for $899. You cannot buy an RTX 3070 for $899 from Newegg.
Nope.
You might get lucky with one in the shuffle, but this allows you. Notice what it says on the screen, my love?
About hot items. To be eligible for the purchasing of in-demand popular hot items, a complete build with assembly service is required.
So they have reserved some items for this. The stock changes daily. Okay, let's see if everybody hears me now. When I looked at this morning, there were more 37. There was 4 or 5 3070s
Yeah.
available.
So build these in the morning. Put your parts list together in the AM.
When Newegg gets the shuffle in,
Yep.
they split it into 3 groups. They take some of the cards and they make the graphics cards available for the shuffle. They take some of the cards and they do the ABS pre-builds, what we've talked about previously. And they take some of the cards and they put them in the PC builder right here. And so every morning that there's a shuffle with video cards, you can expect the stock in this list to be refreshed. And so if you want them to custom, if you don't like the pre-builts they offer, the ABS systems,
Then-
you want to pick your case, pick your motherboard, etc.
Exactly.
This lets you get the better prices, but pick all your parts. That's kind of cool. So let's say, for the sake of discussion, CPU. Oh, we definitely should recommend the Ryzen 5 5600X, right?
Hardware and Box will give you 2 gold stars.
You know what? I hold no ill will towards
I
Steve
know.
over there. I really don't.
I know.
I'll
It's
bet
just
he
fun.
has a feather up his ear somewhere for that, but I really don't. I'm not remotely fussed. Here's a question. Would you pay $410 for a 5800X, or would you pay $320 for a 10700KF?
I do the 10700KF.
Well, I would too, but what would the audience do? And you know what? We're going to do a poll.
Ooh, poll, straw poll.
Let's do a poll. No, not straw poll. Right here in chat. They don't have to
Oh.
go anywhere.
I know. That,
Which
how many years of doing straw polls? 3 years?
$410 R7 5800X, $320 i7 10700KF. And they can answer right in chat. They don't have to
No.
go anywhere.
They don't.
How cool is that?
For those of you who don't have multiple monitors.
How can anybody use only one monitor?
I don't know. I don't know.
So, honey,
Yeah.
here's the results so far. Oh, look, there we are.
There's some people who want to go AMD, and then there's more people who would want to go the Intel.
Objectively speaking, the 5800X is faster.
Yeah, but like, what did you say, 10% or something?
About 10%. Maybe. It's a bit faster. It does have the upgrade option to go to a 16-core chip at some point. You could always swap it out with a Ryzen 9 5950X. I don't ever think those are going to be cheap enough to make it worth doing.
Well, those people who are going the 5800X probably have an AMD motherboard.
We're doing a build, honey.
Well, I know, but several people in chat said that they've got an AMD motherboard. So, but yeah, we are doing a build. So in this particular case,
Yeah.
what use case is this build for?
Gaming, what else?
Oh, gaming. You only need 6 cores. He gave me a look. Tim Tam.
That was easy.
Just 6 cores is the bane of your existence.
She has 12 cores.
She has 16.
That's called Threadripper, honey. All right, let me ask a different question.
Alright, here we go.
See the 410?
Yeah.
For the same money, you could have a 10850K.
Oh, no, I'd go 10 at 50K. Absolutely.
So we're going 10850K?
Yep, 10,
Ah.
at, 10 at 50K it is.
So we need a motherboard,
We need a motherboard.
and it's going to select motherboards that fit. And I don't want to spend too much on a motherboard, about $200, give or take. And because we're going a 10 series, we don't need a Z5 590. You could, but there's no point. Any of the, that's too expensive.
10 at 50K, Geo.
The Z490A Pro is a crappy board. That's okay. I'm going to go the Asus Prime board.
Okay.
We need some memory. 16 gigs is all gamers need for gaming, right? Most people should take 32 gigs. And then we can sort this by lowest price. And we don't want 2666. You don't need super fast memory, but you might as well do 3600 at this point. Ooh, is that RGB RAM? Ooh.
It looks like it for 150 bucks. I guess we're doing an RGB build.
I guess so. Purchasing rule, conditions apply. What case should we put this in?
Oh, it's going to be something big.
All I can see here is the Fantex Ethapoo. That's what it looks like to me, is the Ethapoo.
Anthopoo.
Anthopoo.
Antho Pro.
That looks like the poo case.
It's not.
Fantex. Really? What are you... God, come on. Why? That's awful. Oh, ooh, Mesh 5C. Not for this. You need a better case for that. No. 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 Seriously? These are the choices they get? Okay, let's just tell them what we want, because I know better than these awful choices. You know what we're going to put this in?
What? The 5000D?
Yeah. We're going to put this in a 5000D. And we need to make sure we use
What's the difference?
the airflow case.
Oh, that's cool. They
No,
got a
that
video?
does not say airflow.
It does not. Do you have to put airflow in the thing?
See airflow right there?
Oh, sneaky.
Do they not have any in the... There's the 4000 Obsidian 500D.
Doesn't look like
That's
it.
a big one.
She said. There it is. 5000D airflow.
But it's a white one. Fine, we'll do that one. What power supply should we use? 500 watt?
No, are we putting a 3090 in it? Or a 3080?
She already forgot because we picked the video card already.
Yeah, I already forgot.
850 watt. How about... Oh, we need to put a decent one in here. Seasonic. I actually saw a deal on one earlier. Seasonic 850 watt, 80 plus gold for $128. We need storage.
We do. That currently I'm like, poll time.
Oh, speaking of which, let's go back over to the poll and see.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's pretty evenly split. You guys are funny. Go 450 watt. Let's keep them guessing. That's just ridiculous. And so SSD. Okay, you know what everybody's gonna be very confused about? That.
Oh, 2 terabytes.
Don't waste your time.
Yep.
M.2, of course. Lowest price. Do not get a 660p.
Not as a boot drive.
That's actually a good drive.
The most,
The question is, how much more do you have to spend?
Team Group, Corsair. Samsung.
That's too much. You know something? You guys will be surprised. That's actually a really good drive.
Time to roll out.
Are you getting anything else?
We need a CPU cooler.
We do. So.
We are going to get water cooling. Because it's an i9 10850K. And so we have a Corsair case. And so we need... Wow. I'm a little shocked. 360 mil Can you hear my thinkings going?
I can hear you thinking.
How would the average person pick through all this?
Oh,
This is insane. Seriously? How would the average person...
I. At some point, you just have to pick your brand and go that.
I wanted a Corsair one.
I know you did. Everyone's saying the Arctic Liquid Freezer too.
So $2,329 will get you an i9 10850K. That is a $5 promo code, not that that matters. A Z490, 32 gigs of RAM, an RTX 3070 amp hollow. That's actually a nice big card. You've seen one of those.
I have seen one.
That's a big card. A nice case, 850 watt 80 plus gold, 2 terabyte quality TLC. That has a DRAM cache. That's a very good drive. 360 millimeter liquid cooler. I do think it's worth noting that's actually pretty reasonable. And that price includes the $99 build cost.
Are you not putting it? You're gonna put this on it.
And then you just hit add to cart.
Now where is quarter pay? Yeah, that's with a 3070.
$2,300 for an i9 10850K Z board, 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte, 850 watt. That 5000D airflow case is not cheap or junk.
And then they'll
That's
build,
a nice, and that'll arrive built, done, ready to go.
and then you just have to put Windows on it.
That takes 5 minutes.
Well, I'm just going to say Windows 10 Pro using the link in the video description for
It's not in this video description.
in last week's
In the Road Tech show
in the Road Tech
from
show
2 days ago.
from 2 days ago.
Enemy armor is hit.
The point of this entire exercise was to make our audience aware that this service exists
Armor is damaged.
and to show how you can get a reasonably priced, a not eBay priced graphics card. It's still $900 for the 3070. What do you want me to say? You know, if we take the 3070 out, is there anything else available? There were other options available earlier. You know how we were talking about the 6700 XT is not that great?
Yeah,
Here's the problem. See the 6700 XT here?
that's nice.
That's just dumb. 6900 XT for 2200. A 3080 Ti for two. Oh God.
That is an Asus top. The others are 370
Yeah, that's not.
22 for 39.
That's what we have. We have those at home.
We do.
That's. If we select that, what happens to the price of the build? $3,700. Wasn't somebody asking about a $4,000 pre-built?
Yes, they were.
So this is $3,700 for an i9 10850K with 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte NVMe, and an RTX 3090.
Penetration.
It's a lot of money, but yeah. But if I was actually going to do this build, see, here's where you need to make sure you upgrade your other components. I would take that power supply out because
You would put up.
I would put a better power supply in. I would come down here to Supernova 1300G, $259. I would put a 1300 watt power supply in there. You know what else I'd do? If you've got that kind of money, I would either get a larger or a second NVMe drive.
Add
I would just go
one
ahead and add it in. I would also be tempted to do 64 gigs of RAM and now the motherboard's not enough. I would step up to the ROG Strix E for $300.
$4,000.
I'd spend the extra $100 because once you're going this big, if you're RTX 3090 type person, if you got $4,000, don't go $200 motherboard.
That's true.
I am of the opinion that if you make one component awesome, everything else should at least lift somewhat to follow it.
Yeah, be a balanced.
So,
All right, Mr. Guzman, thank you. Hello, new to your channel. Well, welcome. Thank you. Awesome
Thank you.
stuff. Thank you. I'm building a living room Sun PC build and getting stuck on what to put in the NZXT1H1 case. Any help? NZXT-H1. What to put in it? What are you doing with it?
I don't know what that case is. I'm looking it up.
I know.
What's it called?
NZX-H1.
H1?
That's a skinny K? Oh, $350? Mr. Guzman.
All the nice things.
Wow. Wow.
You've got... Really?
Wow.
That's sold directly from NZXT at that price.
Well, if you're
It comes with a power supply. It comes with an
SFX 80 plus gold.
and it
40
comes
modular.
with a 140 millimeter liquid cooler.
Oh, for $350?
Yeah, it's still.
But you're not. I mean, well, then you're not putting much in it, like a 10700. And then you're gonna have to be picky on your motherboard because that's gonna require a specific motherboard.
It's probably ITX. I don't get the appeal. I'm not knocking you, man. I appreciate the support. I don't.
Well, yeah, mini ITX computer case.
Oh, everything's going to be expensive to put in there.
Yep.
Well, with a 650 watt power supply, you're limited in what you can do.
Exactly.
There's not much detail on it.
Retro Sean said, "Isn't this the case that Steve set on fire at Gamers Nexus?" I don't know. Well, the problem is it's a mini ITX. No. ITX builds... Oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't the one... I don't know. I know he did...
Part of what bothers me about these is the lack of value for the money. The case is expensive. The motherboards are expensive. Finding a video card that fits in there is expensive.
Exactly.
Low profile RAM, and just everything has to be sort of custom picked to fit within that case. Maybe we're biased because we're in Texas and our houses are big. I mean, I can put a full tower case by... Right now as we speak, I have a computer by the family room television. It's in a Cooler Master H500 case, which is a big, thick, not quite full tower, oversized medium tower case.
Yeah, people...
If that were a smaller case, it would do nothing for me.
No.
But not everybody has the room. If we were space limited, I would probably be much pickier about the size of my stuff.
Yeah, but we're not. Yeah, you might save with a square foot, but you're not going to save with your money because everything's more expensive.
You're paying a lot of money to make the computer half the size.
Yeah.
Here's the challenge. I don't have a lot of advice to give because I don't build such systems.
No, I know.
I don't.
There's a lot of people in chat who do that. Ricky, welcome to Deal Nation. Thank you so much for direct support, mate. Appreciate that. And it seems, Will, that you might want to choose a different case because that's the one that used to catch on fire. So I wouldn't use that one.
Well, it is NZXT, and they usually tend to make good stuff. I don't.
Well, I don't know
about
if
that.
I don't know if they fixed it now.
Or if that was hyperbolic reporting.
I don't know. Let's see. Geo wants to know your general thoughts on the 3700X versus the 10850K for gaming and overall user experience.
If you've never used the 10850K, the 3700X is awesome. And the 3700X is all the average person needs. Once you've used a 10850K and you go back to a 3700X, you'd notice the difference. It's not soul crushing, but it's there. The 10850K is faster in every respect. It's faster per core, it has more of them, it has more clock speed, it has... There's really no situation in which a 3700X is better than a 10850K, other than if you already have it or if it's cheaper. But it's not so much worse. Like, I would not encourage people. See, there's not enough information there.
Nope.
Because if you have a 3700X, I don't think replacing it with a 10850K makes any sense. It's faster, but not wow moment faster. It's nicer. It's more. But it's not like, holy crap, I just upgraded my computer and look how amazing it is. It's, well, this is nice. This is a little bit more responsive. That's a lot of money and trouble to spend for that. So I wouldn't make the change. But if the prices were similar, I would pay $100 more for a 10850K over a 3700X if I were buying one today. I think it's every bit worth the $100. And you can't spend the $100 later to do it. Hey, we have a fan from Singapore.
We do. Markland, thank you. Tim Tams for the fan. Where's Tim Tams?
Can I finally have a Tim Tam?
Love from Singapore. Well, thank you, Markland.
Well, you know what? Markland bought me a Tim Tam, so I'm gonna
You can have a Tim Tam.
I'm gonna have a.
And then, who was the other one? Carlos.
I will let you smell my Tim Tam. Would you like my?
Is that the raspberry one?
Yes.
Oh, I'm having the raspberry one. I thought they were strawberry. Thanks, honey.
No.
I thought that was strawberry. Looks so sweet. Thanks, Markland.
You keep it. You barely need it more than I do.
Someone's sulking over here. I'm offering it. 3, 2, 1. Are you sulking or do you want it? I'm sulking.
One of our tracks is damaged.
You're such a nice guy, Tech. You lose, you snooze. Carlos, thank you. He says Thermaltake Tower 100 is a great case. It takes a 3080. There we go.
We didn't even
And
scratch
HGL, thank you for the Canadian pesos. There's a happy, whatever that is. Thank you. What do they say? What do they say? Oh, Tobiah, thank you. Tried
Scroll
Tim
up.
Tams for the first time. Can also go pretty damn good. Yes, they are.
Everyone get out.
Road just straight up took it. Gangster. I thought they were the strawberry ones, but I forgot. I smelled it. I'm like, that smells like raspberry. Thanks, Tobiah. And Rev, the H1 risers were made by another company. Its screw point wasn't plated, so the screw would cut into the vault plane and cause a short. Yes, I watched the video, so you are correct. HDL, thank you. And then, Tobiah, welcome. And then, I don't know how to say your name, good lord.
Dave.
Dave, thank you, Dave. Hello, Tech Deals. I'm not that updated to PC specs. Is the GT 1070 Ti good for the future proofing for 3 years? 1080p gaming where GPU prices is so overpriced? No.
It depends.
Oh, it depends what games he's playing.
I would not typically recommend anybody buy a 1070 at this point. However, that depends upon price. That depends upon what you can afford. That depends upon your expectations and what games you want to play. And that depends upon what you're coming from. Let me set up an example. My son has a friend who plays Fortnite on an FX 6300 with 8 gigs of RAM and an RX 560. Not 5600, 560. I think it's a 2 gig card too.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, to answer Dave's question, or his comment saying he's not up to date on PC specs, none of those numbers I said may mean anything to him.
No, maybe not.
So I say that, and to those of you watching who know what I'm talking about, you just nod your head and go, yeah, that's objectively awful. But Dave doesn't know that, or he may not know that. If Junior Deal's friend replaced his RX 560 with a GTX 1070, he would go,
Whee! But then his CPU would go.
well, yes, but it would still be, even on an FX 6300, I would expect it to be an improvement.
Right.
His graphics card is terrible.
It's pretty old, yes.
His graphics card is half the performance of an RX 580.
Well, at least he doesn't have a 550. Isn't that half of a 560?
Yes. His 560 is half the performance of a 580, and a 1070 is 50% faster than a 580.
Whee!
And he'd be going from 2 gigs of VRAM to 8.
Woo.
That is a legit upgrade. Now, I wouldn't normally recommend it, but if the option is to keep your RX 560 or to get a 1070, the 1070 is amazing. You do what you got to do. And given the non-English characters, or the non-Western characters, whatever you call them, he may very well be in a place or a country. You want to put the currency and see where it's from?
Philippine.
Oh, the Philippines. Okay.
I just became a Dasher and I love it. There's nothing like being your own boss.
UFC 264.
Back the next fighter who was getting hit in the back of the head in boxing. Do you ever remember that?
Yeah.
And he's a cabbage now, isn't he? Really, like he's not okay. And I've got a video of him going, and it's so sad to see him on the guy. And like, a lot of respect every man that steps in there, especially a man who's stepped in there and got to the top like Conor.
A lot was made about the calf kicks. I'm assuming you're going to bring those back to the table. I'm assuming you're going to mix in takedowns here and there. What do you think he's going to do different?
I think so. For me, whenever I first got my leg, I knew about calf kicks, but didn't really pay him a whole lot of respect until I got destroyed by him.
Yeah.
And
Who was that? Who destroyed
Jim Miller.
with calf? Jim Miller.
Another southpaw, yeah.
Okay.
So he tore my leg up. I thought my leg was broken. I was in the hospital. They were giving me morphine. I was in so much pain. So
Wow.
I know what it does. I know how debilitating it is. And since getting it done to me, I had a new respect for it, and I wanted to add it to my arsenal and start damaging guys. So maybe that's what he's going to do. He knows how effective it is. So he might implement it, fighting another southpaw and try to land it himself. Whatever.
What is your prediction for this fight?
I think I'm going to finish him again. I'm not sure if I'm going to knock him out. It could be a stoppage by strikes. We'll see. For some reason, I really have a feeling I'm going to submit it. I really do.
How can I knock him out in a fashion that's never been done before? And yeah, Tim and I got some ideas. I always ask him like what he thinks, and he knows my style better than anyone, so he knows what I'm capable of. I've been finishing people in sparring, not to the head. I don't like sparring and take care of your partners, but with the body shots, liver shots. I've been finishing people throughout this whole camp, sparring. So we got some good things planned, but I'll always make sure when I say that I say I'm ready for 15 minutes. I'm ready to go to war for 15 minutes.
Do you care to share any of the visions?
No, I think those have got to be keep secret.
I don't blame you.
Size me up.
Sparring. So we got some good things planned, but I'll
You fall over the soft. Oh, don't ever forget it. You little ratchet. You.
Whenever he wants, whenever we can fight here. I don't care. Try to sneak behind me and, you know, size me up. Size me up.
We are 23.
Still very young, I'm very fresh in the game, and I'm a dangerous man, Steve, and I'm the most dangerous of them all. You know what I mean? I'm 90.
Here's the thing, sometimes Trenton will lose me with his babbling, and sometimes One Step Too Far will lose me with his dark, autistic, odd videos. But you put them together, and it's gold. I don't have a link to this because it was sent to me privately. Now, I don't know if One Step, if he's around, we'll get a link for One Step Too Far. I'll make sure One Step puts his video up, and we'll get that link out to everybody.
Good.
Did he just Jocko Willink us?
The man.
Good.
Ask all the other white boys.
Nick Fuentes gets kicked off Twitter. Good. Get on Gab. Jocko Willink, he missed a great chance today to jump on that algorithm. If I were Jocko Willink, I would have went, lost your Twitter account? Good. Get on Getter, or whatever Trump's doing now.
Was allowed to be there.
You're on a no-fly list? Good. Walk it. It'll power your core. Jocko Willink should literally just do an entire Nick Fuentes thing. Can't go on planes anymore? Good. Work out. Take a bicycle. Broke up with your catboy boyfriend.
My boy Summer that I was invited to. It's gonna be so damn white boy.
Bravo. Welcome. I want to welcome Trenton Wade. Let's all toast. Let's all toast the great Trenton Wade. He has joined us in the Hall of Fame of White Boy Summer participants. I'm gonna pour some more booze tonight. I'm gonna get drunk. I'm gonna pop in for a little bit on Joy Pesci's show. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I've got some Skyrim to play and I want to relax a little bit. But he goes, still living with your parents? Good. But quick shot. I'm gonna get drunk tonight. I'm gonna do Pesci's show for a bit. Then I'm gonna play some Skyrim. I want to relax tonight. Fucking hour and 20 minutes in the gym today, folks. Hour and 20 minutes. One of these websites is fucking with me, so if you're experiencing lag, DLive is reporting no lag, Odyssey's reporting no lag. I'm not seeing lag anywhere else, but I'm getting dropped frames, which tells me that either Restream's fucking up, but I doubt Restream's fucking up because people are telling me Restream's not fucking up. So it must be one of these sites. So report in, let me know if you got any buffering issues tonight. I'm trying to look right now to see where I'm having the most trouble here. Yeah, because Restream's showing me as offline on a bunch of these websites, which that's not accurate at all. That cannot be accurate. It says I'm online, DLive, but then I'm offline everywhere else. That's what my dashboard tells me. So I don't know what that means, but I'm having issues with Restream tonight. So I apologize. But yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, welcome to Trent Wade. Guys, get your drinks up. Prost to Trent Wade, our boy, man. Welcome to White Boy Summer. I'll let Royce tell you can't come. He's not white either, and we let him in. Don't take that shit, boy. Wait, what? All right, now we're back online. I don't know what's going on, man. Restream's really fucking with me tonight. I don't know what that's about. Oh, well. Let me check. I had a something that was supposed to be ready tonight. Let me see if that is ready. Let's see. I don't know if IT put it up yet. Oh, I can't use that fucking... let me see. And then we'll get into the Nick Fuentes stuff. Because I know people are pissed about the Nick Fuentes. Look, I'll get into the Nick Fuentes stuff, I promise. Let me see. No, it's not ready yet. Boo! Boo, Irrational Times. No, it's fine. Irrational Times is working on a little something fun and whimsical for the show. So we will see here. Yeah, Restream real choppy tonight. Ain't my internet. At least I don't think it's my internet. Maybe it is my internet. Maybe I'm just retarded. Maybe this is just my life now. Hang on, my mouse just died too. I'm having a real great night here. These things are not coming together very easily. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, I just sent me a DM, but what is it? I don't. Let me see here real quick. I don't know. I'll get back to him, but I gotta get to some of these videos here. So the IT song is not ready yet, which is quite unfortunate. Let me see. Anyway, fine. Then I guess we'll just do the Nick Fuentes thing. So as you guys know, Nick Fuentes was banned from Twitter today. Now, there is a little bit of nuance to this story. There's a little bit of humor in this. It's not ha-ha funny, but it's kind of funny. So Nick Fuentes, who, by the way, is trending all over, one of the top trends on Twitter today, to his credit, is Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes got suspended today. Not suspended, but totally banned from Twitter. Now, this came on the heels just hours after, within 24 hours of a ADL hit piece that was written about him. And look, there's people far and wide that don't like Fuentes. I don't like Fuentes. I know Adam Green ain't a fan of Fuentes. A lot of people ain't a fan of Fuentes, but everybody's been like, okay, this is bullshit. Now, here's the funny part. Now, the ADL obviously was the ones that did it. Nick Fuentes was literally trending alongside the ADL, but let me show you guys. Let me show you something. This was so... by the way, I can't even make all the jokes I want to make. But I can tell you that me talking about this would have been way funnier 10 years ago. Because I can't say most of the jokes I want to say. But this was after he was banned and it was trending. SPLC jumped because if you looked earlier, it said Nick Fuentes trending, and it was like conservative commentator and anti-Semite Nick Fuentes was kicked from Twitter. And you know, sometimes it'll have like trending with, and it'll have like another term that's being mentioned a lot. It was literally Nick Fuentes trending with the ADL. And, like an hour after it started trending with the ADL, the SPLC posted this, like this desperate like attempt to like take some credit for it because they didn't get any love for this. SPLC got froze out of this deal, so they got no credit. And of course, they came in like an hour after it was trending. Update: just 2 days after releasing our tweeting hate analysis by senior investigating reporter Michael Hayden, Twitter has suspended the account of white supremacist Nick Fuentes. Hashtag bye Nick. But it was very obviously one of those. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the guy that goes, "Oh, that gift is from both of us." You know what I mean? That's what it kind of sounded like. Like it was like the ADL are the ones that did it, and the SPLC was like, "We also wrote an article. Ours was very good too, so we also kind of had a hand in this." It was very fun, dude. The SPLC can fuck you, but the ADL can really fuck you. Like the SPLC is, even within the realms of leftist SJWs, the SPLC doesn't have as much street cred. Like, there's even lefties that make fun of the SPLC. Like, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, they're a bunch of fucking hacks." So there's a little bit of tension there. There's a little bit of like, "Well, we did it too," and they're not getting any of the credit. The ADL is getting all the credit for it, which is just very funny. Like I said, it just reminds me of somebody that's like, "Oh, that gift that's from both of us." And you're like, "No, it's not. I went and did everything. I did all the work." "Well, a couple days ago, we also had it." "Yeah, I know, but nobody cares." But anyway, obviously, I'm against this. I don't think that. I mean, shit. I've been saying we shouldn't be censoring people since fucking they unpersoned Anglin. And I'm no fan of Anglin, and I'm no fan of, I'm really no fan of Fuentes. But that being said, let me see. Just trying to figure out what this is about. I'm no fan of Fuentes. I'm no fan of Anglin. I am a fan of Alex Jones. So when they did it to Alex Jones, it was kind of shitty. But something needs to be done about this, because at some point, I mean, look, Trump, and this is why I laugh when Fuentes is still rah-rahing for Trump and all this bullshit. When Trump really failed miserably in trying to make the internet any more safe of a place for people with dissident opinions. So Fuentes gets taken out today. You know, Trump's making his little lawsuit or whatever. But I don't know why all these people support a guy who didn't do anything for big tech. Trump had 4 years to just, and everybody was like, "Well, he's just going to pass a bill and they're going to strike it down." Okay, but do it anyway. Put it in there anyway. There's plenty of times, the left does this all the time and the right never does this. The left will very often introduce a bill that's usually so insane and so untenable that they know it's not going to pass. Green New Deal is the best example. You put the Green New Bill in and it gets shot down, but everybody's been talking about the Green New Bill ever since. And eventually the talk becomes, well, what from the Green New Bill can we do? It's pushing the Overton window. The left is way better than the right at doing these things. The left is always introducing some wild shit that everybody's like, no. And then they're like, okay, but what if we dial it back a little bit and we represent it later on with less stuff? And everybody's like, I guess that's okay. Because people just don't want to pay the giant tab. So they're like, well, we'll make it a little bit easier to suck down. And the right never does this. So when I get pissed when people bring up Trump and what did you expect him to do? It's like, you fucking push the Overton window. You introduce some. Trump just didn't want his batting average to get fucked up. That's all he cared about. Was not, I don't want to introduce a bill and it fails. That's going to hurt my batting average. Old Ronnie DeSantis, he posted he did a bill. Federal judge just struck it down. And now it's got to go to the Supreme Court. But Ron DeSantis actually did something. So I don't know. I'm hoping maybe Fuentes will be another, get us closer to being the last straw. I'm hoping he is the last straw. I'm hoping something gets done. Again, I don't like Nick Fuentes. I don't think he's genuine. I don't think he's sincere. I think he's a grifter. I think he's a closeted homosexual. He's like 5'1". He lives with his parents. He's like 21 years old. He's never had any life experience. He went to one leadership conference once as a teenager and thinks he's ready to run entire fucking movements. There's a lot of things about him I don't like or trust. But I don't think he needs to be getting kicked off Twitter. I don't think that Owen Benjamin should have been kicked off. I don't think Alex Jones should have been kicked. I don't think any of these people should be getting unpersoned. I said this the other night. If I'm trying to stomp out somebody's ideas because I don't like them, then I use mockery. I make fun of them. I shit on their ideas, and I come up with better ideas. But you don't erase the idea from ever happening. If you erase bad ideas from history, people are going to have the same bad ideas again. So the left is not doing themselves a service by doing all of this. They're just creating a situation that's going to have a huge backlash. But yeah, man, this Fuentes shit, it's not a good look. I hate to keep being in these scenarios now where I'm defending Nick Fuentes, but or defending Crowder when he goes on these shows with fucking, what do you call it, with Sam Sater and fucking Ethan Klein. I don't want to be defending these guys. I do think they're full of shit. And I do think people shouldn't be allowed to give them money. And I think I'll always be telling people not to give these people money and all that. But at the end of the day, they still deserve to have platforms. Period. So I hope this is resolved. I don't think it will be. This is going to have to be a Supreme Court thing. As much as I hate Trump, it's like, I gotta hope he wins his case, or at least creates some sort of a precedent in his case that will help us in the future. But it's not going to happen. He had his best opportunity to fix the problem when he was the motherfucking president. That's when you fix things. When you're the president. When you're the president, you can be like, let's pass this bill. I mean, I made boats appear, and I love boats. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really getting tired of all of it. And look, before anybody says, look, I know that I was shitting on the right wing yesterday, shitting on the grifters, saying I don't really care about any of this shit anymore. And frankly, I don't. I don't care of it in terms of like my tribe versus their tribe, my in group and the out groups and all the little, I hate it. I hate all of it. I just don't want to keep seeing people get unpersoned because that's not good. It's not good. By the way, first name saying you voted for it, Mersh, shut the fuck up. What did I vote for? Retard. Guys, look, I know people come in and they want to get me. I know that like getting Mersh is like a fucking thing that makes grown men grow up or wake up with fucking hard nipples. Thinking about it in the morning, which is kind of gay and weird, but I know you want to get me, but like, elaborate your point, you fucking smooth brain, because never in the history of the internet has somebody gone in a chat room and went, yeah, well, you are. Like, cite your point, retard. When did I vote for it? Imagine voting Democrat and then crying with it. You think I voted... Okay, you're just retarded. I gotcha. No, I honestly, I'm not even going to yell at that guy. He's literally retarded. If he really thinks I voted for a Democrat, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were like either being disingenuous and trying to get people to hate me, or you were a troll. I didn't realize you were just retarded. Hey, guys, for first name tonight, let's get a drink up to first name. I'm going to do a toast to you, first name. I know it was tough for your father when the doctors told them that you were retarded and would probably grow up to not really be able to do much other than like drywall or install flooring. And I know that hurt him, and I know he probably resented you and took it out on you. And I can't imagine. I can't imagine the horrors you went through as a young disabled man. So to you, first name, I didn't realize when you said, "Oh, you voted Democrat," right away I was like, "Oh, okay, he's retarded." 38 years old, never voted Democrat in my fucking life. Nice. As Opie would say, nice try with the hate, though. Anyway. By the way, Rex says, looking jacked these days, Mersh. Please don't try to butter me up with lies. I'm not feeling that. All right, let's move on to some whimsy. Did you guys see this? I missed this last night. I was going to get to this last night, and I forgot. I was also going to get to the Avenatti thing last night, and I never got to that, so my title of last night's show makes 0 sense. But let's talk about Stuttering John, our boy.
President Biden.
Look, we all have moments. We've all had our moments in broadcasting history where we've gotten drunk, where I've had to walk away from the camera and go get a beer or whatever. We've all had our moments where some minor unprofessionalism shows during a show. We're all guilty of it. But here's John's way of having to go off camera for a minute and totally downplaying the reason why.
2.5 years in prison for extortion. Now, I happen to like Mr. Avenatti, and he got me out of this whole, Secret Service thing. So it's unfortunate he couldn't get himself out of that same thing.
So you like the fact that he helped you get out of a situation. So it's okay that he tried to literally threaten and extort people for money using his clout that he built defending idiots like you. Am I getting this right? I need to make sure that I am getting this correctly. John, are you telling me that everything else he does? So it's like, so Avenatti could be a child rapist, and you'd be like, look, it's like, I don't want to judge the guy. He helped me out on a fucking parking ticket one time, and it's like, I don't know.
So, as I'm waiting for Hal to come in here, I just got to do something.
Hal Sparks, by the way, international comedy star Hal Sparks.
Real quick.
He's got to do something real quick.
So I'm going to just play you something, and then I'll be right back. Because I'm having a few kind of, not to get too into it, I'm having some stomach problems, some stomach issues right now.
Okay, so step one, John. You've already gone too far with it. It's already too much. You've already volunteered much more information than anybody needs. He's got to make a duty, guys, in case anybody's trying to pick up on it. And I don't know why he wouldn't just say, I got to take a brief break. I got to go check on something. I'll be right back. My tummy, I got shit. Now this gets good.
So let me just play you this, and I'll be right back, all right? I just got to take care of this, okay? So just bear with me. Put it on full screen. I'll be right back.
Hey, John, you don't have to actually say the stage directions out loud. Oh, God, you guys ready? So this is all he does. John plays these lame anti-Trump comedy songs when he goes on break and stuff. all he talks about is Trump. Like, I don't know what it is, but Stuttering John's one of these guys that wishes Trump won. Because he didn't even start podcasting and taking advantage of his anti-Trump heroism from his little prank call. He waited way too long to start getting rhythm going on a podcast. So Trump loses, and now he's trying to do this, like, it's hard to be the resistance of the side that lost. Huh? This is good.
150 tons of steel. Who cares if it's from China?
Oh, wait, so we hate China now? Okay, so the Trump train is made in China. So China is bad. Are you saying China's bad? So anyway.
The antenna is damaged. We can only talk locally.
And then he plays, this is something. I've seen John play this one before. This one really is going to make you cringe.
All about the Trump trade. Woo-hoo. All about the Trump trade. Woo-hoo.
Huh? Oh, there's another one, guys. Hey, get it, Bigly Hands. See, maybe let me explain the joke. Let me explain the joke to you guys. Okay, this is hard. So Trump said Bigly one time, and the left lost their minds. So it became like, oh shit, we got him. He said Bigly, he's an idiot. And then another time, somebody tried to say that he had small hands, and he insisted he had big hands, and they never let that go either. It's a funny joke. It's funny. So then they made this song called Bigly Hands. Huh? 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 Sorry.
Look at my hair!
All right. Jesus, dude. What kind of shit was that? Like, first of all, you're sweating. Okay? First of all, you're sweating profusely, John, and you're out of breath. That tells me that you are probably not in the best health. If you went and took a shit and you're back in 3 minutes and you're like, oh God, oh fuck, oh God. hey, and he leaves to take a shit, and this is how he comes back. I can't play this again, I'm sorry. It's just